Buddhāvataṃsaka Sutra. Book 29. The 10 Acceptances. Video 1. Then the great enlightening being universally good said to the enlightening beings, offspring of Buddha, great enlightening beings have 10 kinds of acceptance. If you acquire these acceptances, you will manage to arrive at the stage of unhindered acceptance. What are the 10? They are acceptance of the voice of the teaching, conformative acceptance, acceptance of the non-origination of all things, acceptance of illusoriness, acceptance of being miraga-like, acceptance of being dream-like, acceptance of being ego-like, acceptance of being like a reflection, acceptance of being phantom-like, acceptance of being space-like. These 10 acceptances have been expounded, are being expounded, and will be expounded by the Buddhas of past, present, and future. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of the voice of the teaching? It means when they hear the teachings expounded by the Buddhas they are not startled or frightened or overawed. They believe deeply, understand, appreciate, aim for, concentrate on, remember, practice, and abide by them. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of the voice of the teaching. What is great enlightening beings' conformative acceptance? It means they contemplate the teaching, investigate it, impartially conform to it without opposition, comprehend it, purify their minds, live correctly by the teaching, apply it, enter into it, and fulfill it. This is called great enlightening beings' second acceptance, that of conforming to the teaching. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of the non-origination of things? These great enlightening beings do not see that there is anything at all that originates and do not see that there is anything at all that perishes. Why? If there is no origination, there is no perishing. If there is no perishing, there is no extinction. If there is no extinction, they are free from defilements. If they are free from defilements, there is no differentiation. If there is no differentiation, there is no location. If there is no location, there is quiescence. If there is quiescence, there is attachment from desire. If there is attachment from desire, there is no doing. If there is no doing, there is no wish. If there is no wish, there is no dwelling. If there is no dwelling, there is no coming and no going. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of the non-origination of things. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of illusoriness? These great enlightening beings know all things are like illusions and arise from causes and conditions. In one thing they understand many things, and in many things they understand one thing. These enlightening beings, knowing the illusoriness of things, comprehend lands, comprehend sentient beings, comprehend the cosmos, comprehend the equality of worlds, comprehend the equality of appearances of Buddhas, comprehend the equality of past, present, and future, and accomplish various spiritual powers and mystic transformations. Just as illusions are not elephants, not horses, not chariots, not walking, not men, not women, not boys, not girls, not trees, not leaves, not flowers, not fruits, not earth, not water, not fire, not wind, not day, not night, not a day, not a month, not a fortnight, not a year, not 100 years, not an eon, not many eons, not stable, not confused, not pure, not alloyed, not one, not variegated, not broad, not narrow, not many, not few, not finite, not infinite, not gross, not subtle, not anything. That all variety is not illusion, illusion is not various, yet by illusion are manifested all kinds of different things. In the same way do great enlightening beings look upon all worlds as illusory. That is, the worlds of action, the worlds of affliction, the worlds of lands, the worlds of phenomena, the worlds of time, the worlds of dispositions, the worlds of becoming, the worlds of decay, the worlds of movement, the worlds of creativity. When great enlightening beings see all worlds as like illusions, they do not see beings born or dying, they do not see countries born or perishing, they do not see phenomena born or perishing, they do not see a past that can be differentiated, they do not see a future that has a beginning, they do not see a present that remains for even a moment. They do not examine enlightenment, do not discriminate enlightenment, do not see Buddhas emerging, do not see Buddhas passing away into nirvana, do not see abiding by great vows, do not see entry into the absolute, do not go out of the essence of equality. Though these enlightening beings develop Buddha lands, they know lands have no differentiation. Though they develop sentient beings, they know sentient beings have no differentiation. Though they examine the cosmos, yet they abide peacefully in the essence of reality, silent and unmoving. Though they realize past, present, and future are equal, yet they do not oppose the distinction of past, present, and future phenomena. Though they are fully complete in physical, mental, and sense elements, they do not rely on anything. Though they liberate sentient beings, yet they know the cosmos is impartial and makes no distinctions. Though they know all things are beyond words and cannot be verbally explained, yet they always explain things with inexhaustible powers of analysis. Though they are not attached to the work of teaching beings, yet they do not give up great compassion, turning the wheel of teaching to liberate all. Though they reveal to them past causes and conditions, yet they know that conditionality has no movement. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of illusoriness. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of being mirage-like? These great enlightening beings know that all worlds are like mirages. Just as mirages have no location, are not inside or outside, not existent or non-existent, not finite or eternal, not uniform or multiform or formless, but just expressed in conventional terms, in the same way do enlightening beings truly see and know all things, actually realizing this of all things, attaining complete acceptance. This is called enlightening beings' acceptance of being mirage-like. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of being dreamlike? Here great enlightening beings know all worlds are like dreams. Just as dreams are neither of the world nor apart from the world, not of the realm of desire, not of the realm of form, not of the formless realm, not arising, not disappearing, not defiled, not pure, and yet obviously manifest, in the same way do enlightening beings know all worlds to be like dreams, unchanging, because of being free like dreams, because of clinging like dreams, because of being inherently unconnected like dreams, because of being like the basic nature of dreams, because of being like visions in dreams, because of being undifferentiated like dreams, because of being like thoughts in dreams, because of being as when awakening from a dream. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of being dreamlike. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of being ego-like? Here the great enlightening beings, hearing Buddhas explain the truth, seeing into the nature of things, applying this practically, achieving realization and reaching the other shore, know that all sounds are the same as echoes, with no coming or going, appearing in this way. The great enlightening beings observe the voice of the Buddhas as emerging without emerging from inside or outside or both. Though they understand that this voice does not emerge from inside, outside, or both, yet it is possible to produce skillful expressions to accomplish explanation. Like echoes in a valley, it is produced by conditions and is not at variance with the nature of things. It enables sentient beings each to understand according to kind and to be able to practice this learning. Just as the wife of the Emperor of Gods can produce 1,000 tones in one sound without consciously trying to do so, so also do great enlightening beings enter the realm of non-discrimination, develop a voice that skillfully adapts to different types, and forever turn the wheel of the teaching in boundless worlds. These enlightening beings skillfully observe all beings and preach to them with a universal tongue, their voices pervading all lands in the 10 directions unhindered, causing all to hear the teaching differently according to their needs. Though they know sound has no origin, they manifest the sound of their voice everywhere. Though they know there is nothing to say, they extensively explain all things. Their wondrous voice is impartial, all understand it according to species and type, while the enlightening beings comprehend this all by means of their knowledge. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of being ego-like. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of being like a reflection? These great enlightening beings are not born in the world, do not die in the world. They are not in the world, not outside the world. They do not act in the world, yet are not inactive in the world. They are not the same as the world, yet are not different from the world. They do not go to the world, nor do they not go to it. They do not dwell in the world, nor do they not dwell in the world. They are not worldly or unworldly. They are not cultivating the practices of enlightening beings, yet they do not give up their great vow. They are neither real nor unreal. Though they always carry out all Buddha teachings, yet they are able to manage all mundane affairs. They do not follow the mundane stream, nor dwell in the religious stream. Just as the sun, moon, men, women, houses, mountains, rivers, springs, and so on, are reflected in anything clear, in oil, water, a jewel, a mirror, and so on, and the reflections are neither one with nor different from the oil, water, jewel, or mirror, are neither separated nor united, not flowing along in river currents, not sinking in lakes or wells, appearing therein without being affected, and people know that such and such a reflection is in such and such a place and not elsewhere, and, though things far and near cast their reflections, there is no corresponding distance of the images from one another. Similarly, great enlightening beings know their own bodies and others' bodies are all spheres of cognition and do not understand them dualistically as self and others, and simultaneously appear in their own lands and other lands. Just as there are no roots, sprouts, stalks, nodes, branches, or leaves in a seed, yet it can produce these things. So also do great enlightening beings distinguish duality in that which is non-dual, their skill in means completely fluid and all-encompassing, without blockage. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of being like a reflection. When great enlightening beings achieve this acceptance, though they do not travel to the lands of the 10 directions, yet they can appear in all Buddha lands, neither leaving here nor going there. They are like reflections appearing everywhere, unhindered wherever they go, causing sentient beings to see different bodies with the same appearance of solidity as the world. However, these differentiations are not differentiation. Difference and non-difference do not obstruct one another. These great enlightening beings are born from the lineage of the Buddhas. Their bodies, speech, and minds are pure and unimpeded, so they are able to acquire pure bodies of boundless forms. What is great enlightening beings' acceptance of being phantom-like? These great enlightening beings know all worlds are like phantoms, that is, all sentient beings are phantoms of mentalization, being created by consciousness and thought. All worldly realms are phantoms of acts and conditioning, being created by discrimination. All pain and pleasure are phantoms of delusion, being produced by arbitrary clinging. All worlds are phantoms of unreal phenomena, being made apparent by verbalization. All afflictions are phantoms of discrimination, being created by thoughts. There is also the phantom of pure pacification, being manifested by non-discrimination. The phantom of not changing through time, because of the equality of the uncreate. The phantom of enlightening beings' willpower, because of their extensive practices. The phantom of Buddha's great compassion, based on expedient demonstrations. The phantoms of means of teaching, being expounded by wisdom, expertise, and intellectual powers. Thus do enlightening beings know mundane and transmundane phantoms. They know them by direct experience, with extensive knowledge, boundless knowledge, factual knowledge, independent knowledge, true knowledge, incapable of being overturned by false views, going along with the events of the world without loss or corruption. Just as a phantom does not arise from the mind or from mental states, does not arise from action, does not experience consequences, is not born in the world, does not die in the world, cannot be pursued, cannot be grasped or touched, is not long-lasting, is not momentary, is not acting in the world, is not apart from the world, is not bound to one location, is not ubiquitous, is not finite, is not infinite, does not weary or rest, is not unwearying or unceasing, not ordinary, not holy, not defiled, not pure, not born, not dead, not wise, not foolish, not seen, not unseen, not based in the world, not entering the reality realm, not clever, not dull, not grasping, not non-grasping, not birth and death, not nirvana, not existent, not non-existent. In the same way do enlightening beings course through the world by skill in means, cultivating the path of enlightening beings, knowing worldly phenomena, multiplying their bodies for phantom-like travel, not clinging to the world, not attached to their own bodies, not conceptualizing anything in the world or themselves, not dwelling in the world, not leaving the world, not dwelling on things, not aloof from things. Because of their fundamental vow, they do not abandon a single sentient being, they do not guide only a few sentient beings, they do not discriminate things yet are not indiscriminate. They know the nature of things has no coming or going, and though they have no existence, they fulfill the Buddha teachings, knowing everything is like a phantom, neither existent nor non-existent. When great enlightening beings thus abide in acceptance of being phantom-like, they are able to fulfill the path of enlightenment of all Buddhas and benefit living beings. This is called enlightening beings' acceptance of being phantom-like. When great enlightening beings achieve this acceptance, like magicians, everything they do is phantom-like. They do not dwell on anything in any Buddha land, do not cling to the world, tirelessly proceed toward enlightenment without producing false ideas about the Buddha teachings, cultivate the practices of enlightening beings, and get rid of delusion. Though they have no body, yet they manifest all bodies. Though they have no abode, yet they abide in myriad Buddha lands. Though they have no form, yet they manifest myriad forms. Though they do not cling to ultimate truth, yet they clearly perceive the essential nature of things, impartially and completely. These great enlightening beings, not relying on anything, are called liberated. Having shed all errors, they are called disciplined. Entering the congregations of all Buddhas everywhere without moving, they are called masters of spiritual power. Well versed in the truth of non-origination, they are called unregressing. Imbued with all powers, which even mountains cannot impede, they are called unobstructed. What is great enlightening being's acceptance of being space-alike? These great enlightening beings understand that all phenomena are like space because they are signless. All worlds are like space because they have no origin. All things are like space because they are non-dual. All actions of sentient beings are like space because they have no course. All Buddhas are like space because they have no discrimination. All Buddha's powers are like space because they have no distinctions. All meditation concentrations are like space because of equality of past, present, and future. All the principles the Buddhas teach are like space because they cannot be explained in words. All Buddha bodies are like space because they have no attachment and no obstruction. In this way enlightening beings, by means of the device of being space-alike, comprehend that all things have no existence. When great enlightening beings comprehend all things by the knowledge that recognizes and accepts their space-alike nature, they acquire space-alike bodies, space-alike physical action, space-alike speech, space-alike minds, and space-alike mental action. Just as space, the harbor of all things, is not born and does not perish, so also are all the bodies of realities of great enlightening beings unborn and imperishable. Just as space is indestructible, similarly are the powers of knowledge of great enlightening beings indestructible. Just as all worlds rest in space, while space rests on nothing, similarly all true teachings rest on great enlightening beings while they rest on nothing. Just as space, without any origin or destruction, can hold the origin and destruction of all worlds, similarly great enlightening beings, without aim or attainment, can show aim and attainment, causing all worldlings to cultivate purity. Just as space, without direction or angles, can manifest innumerable directions and angles, similarly great enlightening beings, without actions or consequences, are able to show all kinds of actions and consequences. Just as space is not walking or standing, yet can reveal all kinds of postures and movements, similarly great enlightening beings are not walking or standing, yet can differentiate all movements. Just as space is not form and not form, yet can reveal all kinds of forms, similarly great enlightening beings are not mundane corporeality or transmundane corporeality, yet can manifest all forms. Just as space is not old or new, yet can perdure, revealing all things, similarly great enlightening beings are not ancient or recent, but can perdure, revealing the practices carried out by enlightening beings. Just as space is not clean or dirty, yet is not apart from cleanness and pollution, similarly great enlightening beings are not obstructed or unobstructed, yet are not apart from obstruction and non-obstruction. Just as all worlds appear to space, while space does not appear to all worlds, Similarly, all things appear to great enlightening beings, while great enlightening beings do not appear to all things. Just as space penetrates everywhere, without boundaries, similarly great enlightening beings penetrate all things, yet their minds have no boundaries. Why is this? Because enlightening beings' doings are like space. That is to say, all their practices, all their purifications, and all their accomplishments are all impartial, of one substance, one flavor, one essence, of the same measure as space, pure and all-pervasive. Thus do they witness and know all things without fabricated notions of things, purify all Buddha lands, perfect all supporting bodies, comprehend all realms without confusion, embody all powers, which are indestructible, fulfill all virtues, which are boundless, arrive at the realm of all profound truths, master the paths of all ways of transcendence, sit on all adamantine seats of enlightenment everywhere, utter all voices adapting to all species, and operate the cycles of the teaching for all worlds according to proper timing. This is called great enlightening beings' acceptance of being space-alike. When great enlightening beings attain these acceptances, they acquire a body that does not come from anywhere because it does not go anywhere. They acquire a birthless body, having no extinction. They acquire a motionless body, having no disintegration. They acquire an insubstantial body, being beyond falsehood. They acquire a uniform body, being formless. They acquire an infinite body, the power of Buddhahood being infinite. They acquire an impartial body, being the same characteristic of thusness. They acquire an undifferentiated body, seeing past, present, and future as equal. They acquire a body that reaches everywhere, their pure eye perceiving equally, without obstruction. They acquire a body free from the realm of desire, knowing that all phenomena neither form nor dissolve. They acquire a body as boundless as space, their store of virtue being as inexhaustible as space. They acquire a body of endless knowledge of the equality of the nature of things, knowing the forms of all things are one form and their nature is natureless, like space. They acquire a body of infinite, unobstructed sound, being unopposed and unobstructed like space. They acquire a body of pure action of enlightening beings endowed with all skills, being unhindered in all places, like space. They acquire a body of continuity of succession of the oceans of all Buddha teachings, because like space they cannot be brought to an end. They acquire a body manifesting infinite Buddha lands within all Buddha lands, being free from greed and attachment, unbounded as space. They acquire a body ceaselessly manifesting all aspects of miraculous power, being boundless as the sky and ocean. They acquire a body of indestructible durable strength, sustaining all worlds like space. They acquire a body with all senses clear and sharp, indestructible as adamant, because like space they cannot be burned by the fires that end an eon. They acquire a body of power to hold all worlds, their power of knowledge being like space. These are called the 10 acceptances of enlightening beings. Continue to video 2.